So in an IT organization, there are two kinds of role, front-end role and back-end role. So in this video, we will be discussing both the roles, the educational qualification and experience required, how one can move from one role to another role, and what are the prospect. Hi, this is Sovan. I welcome you all to my channel P2P Learning. So let's get started. So front-end role means a role where an employee directly interact with the customer. So in a role which requires direct communication with the customer, or a role which requires to own or lead a customer communication, is called a front-end role. Whereas the back-end role is a role which helps these front-end roles to achieve the desired promise that they have made to the customer. I'll explain it. Front-end role means sales. So sales guys are directly interacting with the customer and they are getting the project from the customer. Customer is saying, okay, these are my requirements. Sales team is saying, okay, we'll be delivering this requirement. Okay, so they're directly communicating with the customer. Business analyst. So they are going to the customer, they are understanding the requirement in a detailed manner. So sales team doesn't understand in detailed manner. Okay, so the business analyst goes, they understand it in a detailed manner, and then they transfer this detailed requirement, business requirement, into technical requirement. Okay, so business analyst is also again directly interacting with the customer or customer subject matter expert, SMEs. Okay, and they are getting the details. So BA is also a front end role. Next is the delivery manager. Delivery manager means who owns the entire delivery. So from the entire delivery team perspective, he is the person who leads all the communication with the customer. So if there is any delivery related challenges, customer will come to him, or if there is any delivery related input, he will give to the customer. So he is the SPOC, single point of contact, from this project perspective to the customer. Okay, so this delivery lead also need to interact with the customer very actively. So this is also front end role. Now coming to the back end role. Back end role means, now business analyst has given the technical requirement to the team. Somebody has to develop the technical solution depending upon the technical requirement. So the team, the development, code development team or the testing team who is doing this activity of developing this requirement are the back end roles, because they are actually getting the inputs from the front end roles, and then they are developing this and then giving it back to the front end roles. Like the delivery team is developing the software or the solution and giving, and the delivery lead is taking it to the customer. Now backend role owners also participate in customer interaction, but they do not own or lead the conversation, customer conversation. They just come, they provide their expert comments. Let's say delivery lead or delivery owner needs some technical information. So they will obviously call the technical lead or project manager to the call. Okay, or the technical SME, subject matter expert, to the call. They will explain it, but they will just explain it, they will not own it. This delivery lead will own or lead the communication. If there is any action items to be done, then the delivery lead will, the delivery owner will decide, and then that particular work he will then again propagate to the backend team. Okay, so understand, it is not about who is participating, who is owning or leading the customer communication. Based on that, this front end and back end team is decided. Okay, so now let us discuss about the educational qualification. So generally the technology guys who have done their engineering, they started their career as a back end role owner. So let's say if you have done your engineering, you will start as a coder or tester. Okay, so you will be actually doing a back end role. Okay, gradually with experience you will be moving to the ladder, and when you will be becoming very senior person, you will become a delivery leader who will be owning a delivery. Then you will be automatically moved to the delivery or the front end role. So from back end to front end, with experience a technical person can move. One. Second, sometimes somebody wants to get into a delivery front end role directly. For that, what they need to do? They need to do an MBA. Generally an MBA guy joins as a business analyst, or they join as a sales person. Okay, so this business analyst and sales we have discussed as the front end role. So if you are doing an MBA, you can directly start your career as a front end role owner. Okay, somebody actually does this MBA for coming from back end to front end role as well. Okay, this is one of the phenomena of doing MBA after engineering or after doing some job, So you have doing a job for some years and then you do an MBA and then you come to the front end role. Okay. So, but there are some other roles also like pre-sales. Pre-sales is a back-end role. It is not a front-end role. Okay, it's in between actually, but it's actually a back-end role. And pre-sale also, after passing the MBA, people also start as a pre-sales lead, pre-sales role. They also get into a pre-sales role. Okay, but those are the roles. After MBA, you are joining as a back-end role. Please remember that pre-sales is a back-end role, and an MBA can get into pre-sales roles also after directly passing from MBA. So you need to decide whether you want to go to a back-end role or front-end role based on your goal, what you want to do. Somebody is very confident to talking with the customer, then they will be must going to the front-end role. Somebody is not at all interested talking to the customer, or they do not enjoy, but they do enjoy coding or doing work in the background, so they will go to the back-end roles. In an IT organization perspective, I am telling. Okay, so this is overall thing. So now prospect wise, generally BA, sales, this kind of delivery owner, these kinds of roles are generally having higher prospect than back-end role. Back-end role is needed, but back-end role has a stagnant. So like if you become, you are a very good coder, okay, and if you are joining a service industry, then you are going to the ladder, growing to the ladder, and then after a certain point there will be stagnant, because wherever you go, then you will become a project manager. Even if you are from a technical background, you will become a project manager. After that, you will senior project manager. Okay, and then you will see that a lot of people are doing project management, senior project management roles, back-end roles, and then that is the reason this people, this part of people, or this group of people are more vulnerable. Okay, they are getting fired and all these things that happens to these people. So always try to upgrade your skill set and try to move from a back-end role to front-end role whenever it is possible. Another role is the architect role. Architect role is a combination of a back-end and front-end role. So if you are in a back-end role, purely hardcore technical guy, try to move into a technology role. If you do not want to leave your technology domain but still want to be relevant and want to grow in your career, just move from technology role to the architect role. So for on architect role, I have created another video. You can watch that video. So okay, I will not extend this video much. If you have any doubt, if you need any clarification, please feel free to write in the comment and I will clarify those, or I will create another video. Also please mention if you need to understand some other topic, I will also create a video dedicatedly for that. So okay, thank you all. Please take care. Jai Hind.